Rahim. Today, our topic of discussion is oxidation of sulphide. We will discuss today sulphide as a class of compound, how it is oxidized, its mechanism, some examples, and synthetic utility, and then summary of major points. First of all, I will discuss that what is sulphide. Sulphide are the analog of ether. सल्फाइड ईथर के एनालॉग हैं। यहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन की बजाय सल्फर होता है। सल्फर और ऑक्सीजन में ये डिफरेंस है। पीरियोडिक टेबल में ऊपर नीचे ऑक्सीजन फैमिली में सेकंड मेंबर सल्फर है, बट देयर इज अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस। द सल्फर हैज कैपेसिटी टू एक्सटेंड इट्स valency, to expand its d orbital, to extend its valency. That is why you will see that sulfur with variable valency. Here it is divalent, here it is tetravalent, and here it is 2, 2, 4, and 6 hexavalent species. So ethers are not easily oxidized as oxygen has no variable valency, but sulphide, due to presence of this sulfur, can be easily oxidized to give you sulfur oxide, which is further oxidized to sulfone. So this sulphide is partially oxidized to sulfoxide in the presence of sodium iodate. Sodium iodate is a mild oxidizing agent. It will not further oxidize this sulfoxide. If you want to oxidize this sulfoxide to sulfone, you need hydrogen peroxide, which is a very good or excellent oxidizing agent. This hydrogen peroxide and potassium permanganate, these are excellent oxidizing agent for sulphide because these convert this sulphide into sulfone. This is called full oxidation. Here are some example of oxidation of sulphide. Now we are using oxidizing agent, that is metachloroperbenzoic acid. Metachloroperbenzoic acid is an oxidizing agent which will oxidize only one sulfur. In this specific example, there are two sulfur, but only one is oxidized, which is less sterically hindered. In second example, you can see that here are three sulfurs. Each can be oxidized, but in the presence of metachloroperbenzoic acid, only one sulfur is oxidized, which is in vicinity with electron donating group. Those sulfur which is in near to electron withdrawing group, like this here with this one, it is not easily oxidized. Only that sulfur which is near to electron donating group, it is easily oxidized and give you this type of product. Similarly, in this case, 96% sulfoxide is obtained by the action of metachloroperbenzoic acid as an oxidizing agent. This sulfur, which is in direct contact with the electron withdrawing group, it is inactive. It will not be oxidized. Only this sulfur, which is sterically less hindered, and also it is away from carbonyl group, so that is why it is easily oxidized and give you sulfur oxide. Here are some further examples. This is general sulphide class with different alkyl group, aryl, amino acid, peptide, R prime may be alkyl group. It is oxidized by the hydrogen peroxide into sulfur oxide, and the presence of this catalyst will prevent further oxidation. So only you get partially oxidized product. Similarly, this disulfide, if it is treated with one equivalent of hydrogen peroxide, it gives you sulfur oxide, and if it is treated with excess of hydrogen peroxide, it gives you sulfone. So there is also importance of stoichiometry of reaction, that if you are using one equivalent, then the product is partially oxidized, and if you are using excess 3 equivalent, you get sulfone, fully oxidized product. Ozone is another oxidizing agent which is used to oxidize this disulfide. This special example is from disulfide. It is oxidized by the presence of ozone and it gives you sulfur oxide, partially oxidized product. And the mechanism of action is like this. This is angular molecule, ozone. It is attacked by this oxygen, by this sulfur, and then this comes here. And then molecular oxygen leaves the surface and you will get this sulfur oxide in a good yield. Oxone is another oxidizing agent which is used to oxidize this disulfide this sulfide into sulfur oxide. And if you treat this sulfide with the sulfide with a diethylamine and ozone, then you get fully oxidized product. If you want to oxidize it partially, you need to use oxone separately. So you will get sulfur oxide. So this is the end of the lecture. We have discussed that we have oxidized sulfides from oxone, from ozone, number 2, ozone, number 3, hydrogen peroxide, and we have also used metachloroperbenzoic acid as an oxidizing agent for sulfide and potassium permanganate as well as sodium iodate as an oxidizing agent. So this is the end.